Hi, I'm Hansi Herzog. Welcome to Co-Create, the Global Co-Creation Challenge. So today we have two guests here. I'm very happy to introduce you to Cornelia Jost and Shandor Kersting from Over the Maze. Hi, welcome that you're here. Very great to have you. And today you're bringing a very special format in because we have our interview as standard, and then we even have a mini workshop related to the topic of what different mindsets exist and how they are affecting co-creation. So I'm really looking forward to the two will introduce themselves in a second, just to get you on board, to give you an idea what's all about. In this call, you will get an insight regarding the topics of purpose, values, and mindset. You will be guided to reflect your own mindset, and you will learn about how mindsets influence the way how we co-create and collaborate with each other. Yeah, and like I said, this time is special. We have a short interview at the beginning, then these two starting a mini workshop with a small break. As we do live streaming to Facebook Live, you have the chance to use the comment section to get in contact with us, to write us. And if you're watching this video later, you can still do the exercise with us. And of course, we will be happy to have your comments and the results. What was the experience for you as well? So I think that was enough words for the beginning. Again, welcome. And yeah, I will hand over the words to you, Cornelia and Shandor. Please introduce yourself and your work.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me. So, wow, I'm hearing a lot. How is it on your side?
Yeah, I have this echo again, yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Now it's getting better. That's great. So, thanks again for having us. My name is Chandra.
My name is Connie.
And we're both the founders of Over the Maze. And Over the Maze is our company where we focus on purpose-driven businesses. So purpose is on the very focus of our business. We're living purpose in our business, and we help others to create their businesses with purpose as a central point, key point. And there's a lot of things connected. Connie will give us some words to it.
Yeah, we start with many people also that they find their purpose for their self. And what we also give and helps is also that you can find as a group your purpose, that you can find also a business for a purpose-driven business for you.
So purpose is basically the broad direction you're heading to, and the broad direction helps to connect people, helps to keep on track, to have drive. And it's a very great experience when we see people ramping up their businesses with a purpose, with a shared purpose. And that's what we're looking for. And yeah, things connected are, as you already said, values. How do you live your purpose? In which way? And which mindsets do you bring to the group to co-create something? And today we've got the option to share a little bit of a workshop with you, because we're much more into doing than we're into talking, honestly.
Yeah.
Cool, thank you for the short introduction. I'm really happy that we have a doing format, an active format in these calls. Before we get to the active part, please help me and the audience understand better. Why do you think purpose is so important nowadays, and how is the topic of purpose and values connected to a good life for all?
Mm-hmm. For us, as I explained at the best by my own, when we find together our purpose, what I feel was, now I feel directly with emotion and also with all the facts. I know in which direction we want to go. I didn't know already the exact business we will do and what we are doing and what we will do on Over the Maze. But what I know was that, yeah, I'm sure equal what we do, we are on the right way, and we have the security. And also when we did some decision, yes, we can say directly, yes, that is on our purpose, or no, that's not for us, so we will try another way. And this way was very easy for us.
And purpose is connecting a group, so for example us or our clients, to their vision of which world do they like to contribute to. And that connects us to co-create, that connects us to envision people helping to create a world which is really worth living for. And we like people who are in this way oriented and driven to do something they really, really like, and as an effect also contribute to a world which is getting better, which leads to a good life for all. At least we believe in good people.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing, and you really pointed out the reasons why I have invited you, because on the one side we have like us as private persons who need the feeling of searching for a purpose, of finding the purpose to get active, and I really wish everybody this feeling of finding his own purpose, because there is so much energy and joy and power generated out of it. And then when we're shifting to the collaboration, co-creation side, like you mentioned, it's very, very important that we find the shared vision and the shared purpose, the alignment in groups. So I have to commit that in the past, I haven't took too much time or enough time in projects to really set this good foundation. And later on, I often saw the obstacles then. So if you're in the process of co-creation, of getting into groups, please take your time to really take a specific look on and create this alignment to you as co-creators. And I'm sure this mini workshop today will help us with this as well.
Yeah, with an aspect of it. Yeah, and I love it how with an aspect of it, and I really love how you said purpose, for at least for us, it's really the foundation for a good project, a good business, because it's so easy to connect together as a group if you share the same purpose and you know what's let's say the common purpose of your group.
Yeah, we have also a good example from yesterday. We had a meetup with the new work variable, and what we saw there and what we feel was a purpose we have together, and it was so easy to say, yes, we will do this and that, and which project we want to do, and what is also the topic in the project. We hadn't any problems to find this out, and very fast, because all person in the meeting know, yeah, we want to go this direction with the new work variable, and that was perfect. Yeah.
It's very interesting, because also in the past, I think I'm not sure for myself, because I had the experience in the past that I thought that I'm very aligned with the person, and after a while we found out that we aren't that aligned as we thought. And I think that's also coming from when you don't take enough time to go really deep. And something I've learned very clearly in my past connection with you is, I think, the definition of having a corridor, like having a band where you can move within, and there might be still some differences, but there is still the similar direction. And yeah, I think to connect on this higher level of the purpose or the vision and the values, the mindset, can really carry on if you're committed to work together on this band, on this variety. And it can, or in my past, it has been more difficult than when I have been very strict or narrow in my point of view in the strategy, because then it's harder again to connect with each other, because it's much more fixed than if you have a band. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know what's your experience regarding this. We talked about that before already, but for the audience right now, a difference between being narrow and being very wide, and what potential it's bringing up.
One of our experiences is that it needs on a high level this direction, and that's a wide direction. And it makes it very easy to set in let's say, short-term vision or mid-sized goals to align on them. But because as long as you said, as you're in this corridor, or we call it the broad way, it's heading in this way that we all are looking forward to develop into. It's a kind of development. You're going stage by stage by stage, and it's still the same direction for all. And if it's a bit more left or a bit more right, in the broader sense, it doesn't matter if you pass, let's say, the obstacle on the left side or on the right side, because you all know you like to pass the obstacle. And that's what's really helpful on this more, let's say, higher level to connect on it.
Yeah, and also another part is that when you have this broader purpose, that you have also the security when we work together. I can work by my own, and when some possibility or options came to me, and I decided for us, because I know exactly what we want, in which direction we want to go, and so yeah. On the other day, I said, yeah, Chandra, I decided, and I thought it was the best way for us. And normally it's every time also the same opinion in that.
Makes decision very easy, makes trust very easy.
Yeah.
And you're connected on this level, okay, the other one can decide as well, because we're sharing the direction we are going to. And I trust the other one to find a good way there, and to do the next steps. And if I'm not around, okay. And that's very helpful for us. And we experienced it other seas as well. So, for example, we had a cool join to small-sized companies. And that join has been possible because they started to share the same purpose. It's, as you said, it's sharing the values, seeing, yes, we are aligned to the same values or share most of them and value the same things. So we approach things in a maybe physical different way, but with the same mindset. Yes. So, for example, yes, we like every customer to succeed on their own. Not we're telling them how to succeed, but we help them to succeed. That's a difference. And that's something that you probably need to share if you're working that close in a business together. And so you go stage by stage and align more and more. And you say, yes, that's the direction we both or we all like to develop into. And that's when you find your purpose.
Yeah. And when you find your purpose, it's also very helpful to go in a concrete way where you can use your purpose is, of course, by decisions. And we already talked on this live session on big decisions. But what you also have is also on the daily doing. For example, when you applying for a job, it's an easy way, your purpose. And when you see all the jobs possibilities, you can see, is this on my direction, so it's with my purpose the best way or not. And so you have already a decision before you apply to a job, it's a good possibility for you or not. And on the other way, when you go outside with your company at the first time, when you do your business, you have the possibility to say, my purpose is, and that's why I'm doing this business. And when you say this, we saw that in the past for another business, this business is so strong, and you believe automatically the person, he or she do this business because they want it.
Mm-hmm. I have some background noise. It's getting better. Good. Thank you. I have two very important points for me came up, and it's getting really practical already now. I really love that. Thank you. So on the one side, the personal level, when you said about taking decisions also on a personal level. So I'm really into personal development, setting up goals, daily routines, planning for the future. And they talk really much about the principles and the values, because if you know them, it helps you to make good decisions. Also in setting priorities. If you can do a lot of different things, you are not sure what the most important is each day. To know yourself, to know your values can help you very much in that. And the other thing is also regarding decision making. When you spoke before that you have made a decision and you were very clear with it, that it's okay because it was in the in the mindset or in the values, the corridor, the purpose of your organization, I had to think about teal organization, and you mentioned new work before already. So there is also very important that we delegate decisions and bring the decisions to the people which are affected by, and that there are decisions are embedded in the big organizations. So, and I think this topic or these organizational forms are very important for a lot of people watching this in their own organizations, to have this flat hierarchy and making good decisions. And therefore, it's also very, very important that the people are aligned within the organization, because then you can trust. And yeah, so very, very practical already. Thank you for this.
You're welcome.
Any other thoughts you would like to share before we step into the workshop?
Yeah, so if you see this on a recording, now would be the perfect time to press the stop button and grab a pen and a paper, because if you'd like to go with us on this short exercise, thank you, Hansi. You can go the same way as Hansi is now doing. Hansi is, what do you say? You're leading the way in this kind of way. And we haven't talked before what you're going to experience. So it's very authentic. So what you can experience now is Hansi doing the workshop. And that's really great. So thank you very much for your trust, because we're doing this live and live on camera.
Yeah.
And if you're watching right now, please be sure that you have everything you need, and just be open to try it out. Yeah.
Okay. So we are switching the screen. We are now sharing our desktop. Connor's desktop, and you see in the upper left-hand corner there. And it's about 6 mindsets to see the world and how they help in co-creation. And well, that's not, let's say, all our work. We're just bringing it together. It's more or less based on the work of these people you see here. So let's go one by one. I'll start with Ken Wilber. I'm personally really fond of Ken Wilber's work, even so I have to admit I don't fully understand it. Ken Wilber took the time to investigate about more than 100 big systems, including all the big religions, that's Christianity, Buddhism, and he set up to find a theory of it all. So the theory of all the systems in the world, to see what's the better system there. And that's part of the, his results are part of it, what's now inside these mindsets.
Yes, and on the other hand, we have Don Edward Beck. From him came the spiral dynamics, and it was the first time when I saw spiral dynamics. It was like a spiral and very interesting. And what is inside is also, when you grow up as a person or like a business, you also go through different mindsets, and what infects this mindset and what is also in this mindset. And this was also related to the integral theory from Ken Wilber, but it also a little bit in another view. And it's also in our 6 mindsets.
Okay, so let's continue to Frederic Laloux. Maybe you have read his book, which is very famous, Reinventing Organizations, where he traveled the world and found lots of companies going for new ways to work together with a new mindset. And he mentioned in this book something like spiral dynamics and put his touch on it.
Yes, and the last is Jane Löwinger. She has also started the first sentence that, she searched some possibilities, how you can see the mindsets and which mindsets already exist. And so what she starts is that she starts, with sentence, but she only starts with the sentence, and the endings should be done by the other person to see which mindsets are here in the room.
And that's the exercise we are going to do with you. But before we do this, we'd like to add one more. We have no photo of him. It's Martin Permentier, which is the newest addition to Spiral Dynamics and How to See the World, which is called in German Haltung entscheidet. So his work is, he's doing it in the German region for about 15 years, I think, 17 years. So he's also contributing to all the stuff you're seeing right here.
Yes. So let's see our little exercise.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Hansi, are you ready?
Yes, should I come into screen?
Yes,
No,
please.
that's
Yes,
too
please.
much.
So,
Let's go there. So we would like to, how do you say, fill up the blanks. And the first sentence I would like to fill you up is, success for Hansi is. What's success? You've got 30 seconds.
and you can write it down for yourself at the first.
Okay, this was my question. If I have to answer spontaneously or if I can write.
And write down directly.
The more spontaneous it is, the more it helps you to reflect on yourself. What's success for you?
Bringing impact or bringing social impact and feeling good at the same time, or having a good life at the same time.
Perfect. So we go on also with the second question. Valuable for me is.
I'm ready.
I would have an answer, but I would like to give people who are watching time as well.
Okay.
Yeah. But when you have already the answer, you can give directly.
Okay, if you're watching and you need more time, press stop. So valuable for me is nature and community.
Nature and community. That's
That's
perfect.
nice.
So let's say, in one way or the other, leading others, what does it mean to you?
Did you find already?
Yes. Leading others means for me, or bring for me, joy and burden at the same time. So
That's nice.
I'm enjoying leading very much, but at the same time, it's a big burden. So it feels heavy on the shoulders sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah. And the last one is, when people are helpless, what is then for you?
And the best way to help them is by empowering them to help themselves.
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean to you when people are helpless?
When people are helpless, what it means to me,
Yes.
that they are not in their power right now, even from an inside or outside perspective.
That's nice.
What do you want to do when you experience that people are helpless?
If I can, I would like to help them.
Yes.
Most
of the time, not always.
Thanks, that's very honest.
Thanks.
Thumbs up?
Yeah.
So thank you very much for sharing. And it's important that you do this exercise before proceed any further. So if you look at it as a recording, it helps to do it now, right now.
Yes.
Read it and press stop, take the time, and come back later when you've written down the sentences.
And what is very helpful when you read the sentence and fulfill the second part, every answer is right, because it's your mindset, and with this you see, what is in your mind directly, and it's easy to see what you're thinking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why are mindsets so important? Well, there are so many great people in the world and so many people you can co-create with, but probably because of their experience, because of the surroundings there, you might think different about the world. Very simple. And what you can do, and it's a part of giving leadership, bringing leadership to a group is to help them to connect with the different mindsets and see what everybody is needing, so it's easy to co-create. Okay, let's go to Connie's screen.
Yeah.
And let's see what those people we introduced formally have found for mindsets.
Yeah, and to see afterwards what we want to be with this sentence.
That's right. So where would you be with your mindset? Mindset is something, just one sentence before we start. Mindset is something you can change. You often are connected to one mindset you prefer, but often it's also situational. In some situation might be, for example, if you're an employee, you might live a different mindset at work than you live at home. You might be much more, let's say, family-oriented, close to the group in an at-home setting that you are at the company. But it could be the same. Yeah. So let's see later on, but first let's introduce those 6 mindsets.
Yes, and we start with the first. The first is the self-orientated and also impulsive. And what is in their mind? So what is really see the mindset is normally also by phrases. These people say directly and in the daily business. And for example, one phrase is, the winner takes it all. Or it's either you or me.
Or the end justifies the means. So very oriented on what's the result. Or I make things work here, which is knowing about that you're really effective here. That's something you see when you work with these people, so you're here with these people. And you probably experience also what value they or which things they value. It could be, or often it's connected to showing what is valuable to them. So something which is of status. This could be, for example, a good car, a nice car, a new car, a fast car. Or this could be being able to get away with things, to be able to do things others can't.
And on another hand, you see also this mindset by the value they have. And one value by self-orientated are splendor, being able to get away with things.
In decision making, you might experience such a person to be more or less very direct with their statements. Yes, I like it, no, I don't. Or self-referential with judgments. I don't think that's a good way, let's do another. This might be something you experience with just such a person. And in all those things, there lies some strength. So let's, for one moment, can you guess which strengths there lies within? 2, 1. So let's see.
One strength is that they act quickly in emergency situation. So when they get in an emergency situation, they don't still what they have to do. They haven't any problem with that. They can go forward and act quickly.
What they usually prefer is they like to structure their tasks clearly. So this is to do. That's the first, that's the second, that's the third thing we're going to do. And this is the outcome we produce with this. The first, the second, and the third outcome we do. And usually they stick to short time spans.
Yeah. So that's the first mindset.
Let's head over to the second one.
Yes.
Maybe you already know one or two persons who you would say are more connected to this first mindset or like to live it more often. The second mindset is maybe when you hear people saying everyone does it this way, or unity is strength,
or years of appreciation are not years of mastery, and that's the rule.
So that's people they are usually tightly knit in a group, and it's an us for them and them, an us and them. Okay, and that's also connected to what they value, because what they value is a high role in the group or organization, so they're respected there.
Yeah, and when it comes to decisions, what they need for the decision, they need an ordering system to have this clear, and it's also past included. So they take all the experience they have to take a decision.
So again, Let's take some seconds. Which strength lies in this kind of mindset? In 3, in 2, in 1.
Yeah.
It's a very strength of them to be able to hold the group together well, because they know what it's like to be a group.
And another is supports a strong we. We is very important for them.
So that's the group-centric, a conformist kind of mindset. Let's head to the next.
Yes. So we switch. So we are on the next. The next mindset is rationalistic and functional. So you hear some phrases from these people. Time is money, or you learn from your mistakes.
Or knowledge is power. No pain, no gain. So it's very rational, very functional. There are always multiple ways.
Yeah, and the values for them are very important is high level of professional competence and ability. So when you have this, you are on a high level.
Decisions are often done specific requirements, and they come from the outside, which are taken into account, and hard facts give the decision.
So which strength they have?
2, 1.
Let's have a look.
They are good specialists, and they have a great endurance for a sub area or a specific area of their work.
Yeah, and these people has also a very high competence orientated. So they're very strict, the competence, and when the competence is high, they are very, very strong. That's perfect.
And they develop their competences very high.
Yeah. So next.
Oh, yes. Let's head over to the next mindset, the fourth one. It's self-determined, it's confident. So what do you hear such people often say? Maybe something like, everyone is an architect of his own future. And of course, the world belongs to the brave.
Or paths are made by walking them. And what you want to ignite in others must first burn in yourself.
And that's connected to what they see as a value, because the self-confidence and the recognition from the outside is high value for them.
And what is very important for them to make decisions, they have a look on where there is more to learn. And also, what is very important, when you do a decision, what leads to the goal.
So which strengths do you think lies in this kind of mindset today? 2, 1.
Yeah, they are action and goal orientated, and that's very helpful.
And they're good at managing things.
That's perfect for this mindset, and that is the self-determined and confident mindset. So to the next, the fifth.
It's a relativistic mindset and individualistic mindset. It's, for example, values cannot be taught, but you can exemplify it. So you live it and others see it, and so you can teach values by being the example.
And all things are as you see them. So when you see it, you know it. And if you think you can do something, you can. That's of course. If you think you can't, then you are right.
So it's very individualistic. And that's also what connects to what's value for them. And that's the inner space of experience. What do I experience? So having the time and the sovereignty and living values, that's what they value.
Yeah, and for them it's very important for the decision that they have a commonality, and also the emotions are very important.
So which strengths do you think are in this mindset? In 2, in 1?
Yeah, they have the ability to unconventional perspectives, and that's very helpful.
Because they're so empathic, and this empathic leadership is also a strength of this kind of mindset if you live it. Let's move on to the sixth one.
Yeah, the last one. The systemic autonomous. So what you hear from these people many times is our life is what our thoughts made it into.
And the other is an autonomous being with its own reality.
And always act in such a way that further opportunities arise.
Everything is right, but it's not equal.
And what they all have is we are all connected in some way. And what that leads to the value they have for them is very important: inner development and purpose and space to develop.
And well, decisions you experience from those people, usually very future-oriented, sustainable, and looking for a holistic wholeness. So a very complex way of thinking.
Yeah. And when you see the sentence and also the value and decision, also for this mindset, what are the strengths?
In 2, in 1.
Yeah, they have an overview and complex thinking. So they see the system and how is it connected.
And usually they're strong at transformational processes because they take very things into account and also have an easier time thinking about what happens throughout time as another dimension of how things happen.
Yeah, and that are the 6 mindsets you can see, and every mindset is very good and has their strengths.
And when you work together, each mindset brings a different thing to the table. But before we head into this direction, let's have a look on Hansi's mindset, or your mindset. Hansi, now it's time to reflect. Please come back on the screen in a big one. So let's see.
You will have a look on my mindset. Okay, so you're looking into my brain, into my mind. I'm curious.
Well, honestly, we can't, but you can.
Exactly.
You can. So if you look at the sentences you've written, maybe you can connect them to one of the mindsets you have now seen to. And we can discuss them together. And usually, as said, everyone is living more than one mindset. Depends a bit on the situation, but there's one preferred mindset. So let's hand the word to you. When we start with the first one, bringing social impact and feeling good, having a good life at the same time, where would you say is the focus of this one? Might be a bit hard if you can't see all the screen, right?
Yes. I know the different colors from the other concepts already, but it's still a little bit hard here.
Let's do it the way. We go through all the colors and you say yes or no, okay? Does this help?
Yes, we can do it, but I have a guess for the first one at least.
Okay.
It sounds a little bit like greenish. Like
so
the green approach, it's like because it's like focusing on the good life for me as well. It can be also the teal approach, like 2 things at once, like impact, but at the same time, a good life for me.
Yeah, so when we hear also this sentence, when you said it, it was for you very important when I'm only in my mind that the variability is very important, that every person can have a good life. So a good life for all, then we succeed. So what is very important that every person find their good life, and that leads also to the green one. So you're perfectly right. And also they have some space of the teal one.
So that's from our perspective, it's a perfect example for a very greenish with a bit of teal. So that's one mindset you often see yourself in. If you say you like nature and community, where would you place this?
To remind that the end of the sentence, valuable for me is nature and community.
Yeah, I think also the green one and community is also part of the teal one. Don't have the others now enough in my head to to see if there is anything else important.
Let's have a quick look. So when we start by the self-orientated, so you're only self-oriented by variable. So for you, nature and also community isn't that important. That's not you. So nature and community for you is very important. So you are not the self-orientated mindset in this case.
Let's go to the next one.
The group-centric conformist.
Sounds somewhat appealing and somewhat not. Why do you think so?
Yeah, of course, community is part of the us part, is strong together. Like, I'm feeling good if I'm part of a community.
Yeah. And what's also very important for the group-centric, that all have the same idea and have the same mindset. So maybe because we know you very good already, the community, yeah, they have different mindsets in their mind, and that's okay. So in this case, group-centric isn't in this way directly.
So if we could speculate a bit with psychology, I guess that being part of a group and living the values of the group has been in your past. And I guess that somehow you changed your mindset much more to a greenish one, because yes, you love community, but you also love diversity. So at least I did experience in the past that you value diversity and you highly value diversity, which doesn't fit very good into the group-centric conformist kind of mindset.
Yeah, so let's have a look on the next one. The rationalistic and functional. Rules are very important, and also you need a high competence orientated. With nature and community, maybe. What is in your mind, Kanzi?
Yeah, it's not, so it's a part of my mindset, but it's not reflecting in the answer to this specific question.
Yeah, and thank you for this answer, because that's show us all, yeah, you have different mindsets, but not every time on every topic.
Yeah. I think many of the things are depending also on maybe just what kind of mood are you in when you get the question. Because another answer would be what is valuable for me could be like system thinking and complexity. It's also true, but it was not my focus right now.
Yeah, that's true. So then we are by self-determined and confident. Let's see. So your value are nature and community. Yeah, you need a win-win situation, maybe.
In general, win-win situations are fine, yes. But I think it's not really what's sticking to this part here.
Yes.
So let's move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Next
And
one
we are arrived by the green.
would be, let's say the essence would be variability together.
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yeah. On the relativistic and individualistic, you can say, yeah, the variability together is very important. And when you have a look on what is for you important by the variable is nature and community. And with all your thinking, is that also in your mind? Yeah. And what we did with you now was...
Let's go to the last one.
Yeah, of course. Sorry. Wrong button.
Thank you.
So, the last one is the systemic autonomous.
We're all connected in some way.
So it seems a little bit like the modern form of the second mindset, where it's about the we, but in a very tight way and with a probably narrow mindset within the community. And here it's much more diverse, right?
Yeah.
In a greenish mindset, it's much more diverse. In a teal mindset, it's more autonomous. Everybody is his own system or seen as his own system, and it's nice to connect. And everybody is working in his own strengths. So let's say a green mindset is more closer, and the teal mindset is a bit more, let's say, relaxed.
Yeah.
In the way between the people.
And what I was referring before was I think the yellow, so the second mindset, which is also focusing on a group, but with much more focus on the rules and the closeness. Yeah. So I think regarding to the specific question, for me would fit the green the most.
Yeah. And what we did with you also now, we discussed all the mindsets and what do you thinking about your valuable. And when you see this live session, you can do that also by your own or take another person and let's discuss together, because in this way, it's very easy to find out, yeah, it fits to me or not.
And you can do this for multiple sentences and multiple topics you think which are important to you, and see where do I often find my fit if I match it to those 6, and probably that's the mindset you like to be most often. And maybe you've also developed a feeling somewhere here where you say, yeah, I'm pretty sure I know which mindset I'm usually living in or I'm comfortable living in. How's it about you? Any guess?
Yes. Yeah, it's I feel like having 2 very strong mindsets. On the one side, I have the community orientated and the complexity, so anywhere between green and teal. But at the other side, I still have quite a lot still, like an older mindset coming from the patriarchic side, so where I like leadership and rules. Knowing my own family past, I know where it's coming from, and I think also in society it's quite present, and it's very interesting because I think this is something we all have to deal with, because in this changemaker community we're speaking about developing ourselves, our mindset, and we want to have the future society, but we still are coming out of the older mindsets. So this is something really important to reflect on, and I know for myself that I way too often still acting from an older mindset, and I have to be very critical from that side. Yeah, and to be honest with that as well.
Yeah. And that's very great that you can and we are hearing a bit of echo. I hope it's now going away. Okay, that's good. So, Connie, may I please ask you to zoom out a bit of me, because you're sharing your screen. Martin Parmentier did some very interesting work regarding the different mindsets, and he put in some work also to do statistics. How often did he experience which mindset in his 17 years of working with companies and people in the German, Austrian, Switzerland region, so the German-speaking region, as far as we know? And he said, yeah, currently most of the people are somewhere in the rationalistic and the self-determined area. So Connie is taking a circle in it. It's about 2/3 of the people he encountered in the companies are in this part. And if you look at the work from the other people we mentioned earlier, it's quite easy to understand why it is this way. Because as Hansi, as you said, it's a kind of development, and development happens when the surrounding develops. So it takes some time until problems get, let's say, more complex. So we adapt more in our ways of thinking and seeing the world. If you look back, let's say, in the 1950s, there has been in business, especially in business, a very strong thinking about cause and effect.
Yeah.
There is, if you look at the diagrams, we usually took the fish diagram and all this stuff. We were looking for specific, let's say, fault situations and how to improve on them, or looking for the cause, the root cause, the very root cause analysis, and then taking all the measures to make it better. And now we're in a world where we say, yeah, the world as we see it now is strongly interconnected and very complex. So new mindsets also develop. And we're shifting to those mindsets to accommodate more to the world we experience. And we're making our world more complex on our own. And that's a good thing also, because we see more things. We see how things are interconnected. We see what happens if we, let's say, if we use different sources of heating, if we use coal and all the stuff, we see, okay, it's not related to one country, the climate is changing. It's because we all contribute to it or don't contribute to it and shift another way. But that needs a different approach. So regarding to Martin Permetier's work, but it's about 2/3 in those mindsets. Connie has drawn a circle on it, and it's about a 1/3 in the self-oriented, group-centric, conformist mindset, and another third on the relativistic or systemic autonomous mindset. And that will shift over time, but it's quite interesting to see where we are at the moment and to reflect where are you and which mindset does help you. And if you see that these mindsets are all present and you like to do a co-creation with lots of people, which are all nice people, it's very important that we have a look on the second part. How do you can have a group of such diversity to work together?
Yeah. So I switch.
Let's remove the surface again.
Yes, I removed.
Now the question to you. You're working with lots of people together. What's your experience? How do you help people with different mindsets to come together?
Good question. Thank you. So I think, first of all, it's something we mentioned at the beginning, is to connect to the purpose or the vision. Because knowing the reason why we're here is, I think, helping us to get out of their own head more into a common space where we act more out of the common space. So it helps us to open into the mood and the flow which is present there. I think that's quite important to make this I to the we view. That's one point. Then, of course, also the format in which we are talking and making decisions is influencing us quite fast. Because if we have an open discussion, normally those with, let's say, a red mindset, with more impulsive, might get a bigger voice because they are faster and louder. But there are other conversation styles where we speak in a circle, which is supporting a very and slowed process of talking where everybody's here. The same for decision making.
Great.
Yeah, let's keep it with this. What is your experience?
So let's share a bit about those different mindsets, and let's have a look on each one.
Yes.
Maybe interesting to connect directly to them. And we switch again on his laptop.
Yes.
Okay, here we are again. So I also follow the machine over here.
Yes.
So let's see. Me and my people, collaboration, co-creation. For people in this mindset, it's about them. So what is in it for me? That's something they need very clearly. Of course, they like to contribute. Of course, they like to work together with other cool people, but they need to really see what's in it for them. And it needs to be okay for the others that often, for those people, it's I must, I have to. That's the things we need to do. It needs to be very clearly. So usually they love individual collaboration because what they're looking for is someone strong, because they're comparing themselves. They like to win. So if someone is strong and they respect him, they can learn from him. That's great, or from her. So they are strongly oriented toward leadership figures. And this might be also shifting leadership. For example, in each topic, there might be a different leader, but that's okay. In some topics, it might be them leader. And don't forget about the strengths. Those of them, if you're part of their group, they are sticking for you and say, hey, we do this, and I take care that it happens. So
when a problem is there, it isn't a great problem because, yeah, some people from this side, they can quickly act and also say, yeah, come, we go this direction, and that's very helpful.
And I really love your example of the circle, so everybody is heard, because of course, this mindset leads to that they want to stand up before the others and talk a bit more.
Yeah. So let's see the collaboration and co-creation with another mindset.
Let's go to the group-centric one.
So,
and let's see what's here.
From here, on the other side is, it's all about wrong or right. So you only have two ways, not different possibilities, only yes or no. And it's very important for these people when you collaborate with them or go in a co-creation. They want, I do what's required. So they know what is important and they know what is required. And so they have the list and can work perfectly together. And in this case, they also want hierarchical structures with clearly defined responsibilities are needed for collaboration. So when they know the hierarchy, how it's ordered, and also when it's clearly defined, they haven't any problems and you can work with them in a perfect way.
So for example, in a meeting, it helps if you know that such people in such a mindset or loving this mindset is collaborating with you, it helps to have a clear agenda, what's happening, and who's taking which role. So there is one being the moderator, there's one taking the notes, and we're doing these topics.
Yeah, and also the strength from this side is also they support a strong we, and that's very helpful also in a co-creation process.
So we are in this meeting to facilitate us all to help to solve this problem. And that's a very cool spirit. Let's go to the next one.
Yep.
And I follow along. So we are now in the rational, functional mindset.
Yes.
And you can guess what's important to them.
For them, it's important, measurable goals. So for that, it's very important that you know which goals we have and how we can measure these goals. Because I do what I'm good at it. So when I work on something or when I want to collaborate with others, I know what I can very good. So I also want to know my measurable goals.
And what I love is efficiency. So why should someone do the project planning if he is not good enough, for example, or not good at it? Not because he's the oldest, but hey, let's take someone who can do it better. And in a decision process, it's about, let's say, the rationality behind the decisions. It's not because someone likes to. There needs to be some rationale. Why are we going this way, or why are we going another way?
Yeah. And when you collaborate with this person, the functional units with the job profile that fulfill goals in efficient-oriented manner. So when you work with them and also in a co-creation process, they also want some job profiles. They are clear and also know what is the goal.
Mm-hmm. It's good, for example, to refer to statistics or to science to do those decisions. And you say, hey, in about 3 or 4 times, 3 out of 4 times, it works out this way, then it's easy to decide for this way. Let's go to the next one. Self-determined confidence. So, collaboration and co-creation. It's about performance and externally visible success. So those people like, as in this mindset, they like to see what's performance like. They like to be effective. It doesn't need to be efficient, but it needs to be effective what they're doing.
And what they also say is, I do my thing. So they know what they do and also they want to do the good thing for them.
So basically, for example, in a meeting and you're thinking about, we are doing, let's say, together a piece of art or a theater, or we do a performance together, then everybody gets a part and everybody in this mindset says, okay, I take care of this part. So for example, I'm taking care that we've got a marketing campaign and I will do whatever it's needed so this marketing campaign is successful.
And that's perfect for me because I know, he will do exactly what he said.
So let's head for the next one.
Yeah. So now we are on the relativistic and individualistic. On the collaboration and co-creation side, when you have a look on this, it's all about balance in life. So for them, it's very important when you collaborate with them that they have the balance of the life. So all parts of the life should be in a balance.
And it's about flexible and agile structures, because in this flexibility, you can live really values. You can cooperate, and yeah, you can be on eye level, because you're usually in an agile way, you're usually in small units. So it's easy to be in a dialogue with everybody.
And when you go in a dialogue, it's also very important that every person has a good feeling about what they do. And that's important also for the collaboration and cooperation for this mindset.
Mm-hmm. So empathy, being on the pathway, say, yeah, we're doing good work, but everybody's feeling good, and everybody's feeling good. It's very important. So just looking on performance is usually hurting those people.
Yeah. So let's have a look on the last. And this is Chronic Autonomous.
Mm-hmm.
And here, when you collaborate with these people, it's also about multi-layered and holistic focus. So you don't have only one focus, so you have a holistic focus.
So what you want to have is a meaningful effect in the world. So to have this meaningful effect, they try to see, why are we doing this? So it's purpose-oriented. They usually like to think in a network-like structure, because a network can be large. And it's more easy to live in a network than living in a tightly knit group. And everybody works self-determined. That is in a common direction, but can do on his autonomous way, which works best for him. So everybody works in his potential, not necessarily in the same speed, but in the same potential.
And what leads to them is very important, that I have my meaningful effect in the world. For them, when you work or co-create with them together something, it's important that they see the meaningful effect on this, and also not only for me, it affects the world.
Mm-hmm. So making this purpose, why we are here together and what we are creating, is visible, is very important. Okay. Hansi, please come back on the screen.
Here we go.
So for me, I'm not talking very personally. For me, it's been really a game changer when I first found out about spiral dynamics and these different mindsets, because it explained to me why in groups we had such differences and discussions, how to approach things, why not everybody saw that. For example, in those years, it's quite some years back, where people weren't looking on what's effective. So let's do the thing what's effective, because that's why we are here, aren't we? And later I understood, no, that's not the real focus. It's, yes, we're doing those things together, but for some, the group has been much more important than the objective. And for me, this time it's usually been the objective.
Yeah.
And things I learned through this is, if you're in a group of like-minded or in the same mindset, it's very easy working together. And it's very cool working together if you've got different mindsets in the group, but it helps if someone who is aware of those different mindsets starts to facilitate, because then really, really good stuff happens. And yeah, so it's been a really game changer for me to see the different colors, let's say it this way, how you can see the world and what it means to be in a group with others and how to co-create something.
Yeah, and what helps me very was also, yeah, every mindset is a very good mindset. In this way, they have a look on the world. And with this perspective, it helps me to solve my problem in communication. For example, when I work together in a team, they have these different mindsets. Okay, now I understand why they act in this way. And it helps also them to co-create something.
So it's basically, usually in a team, everybody wants a good thing for the team, but from his point of view, and if you see the differences, you can easily help to facilitate that this point of view is taken care of and seen by the team too.
And Hansi, you said also that you already know this this different view and also the colors. And what is your experience with in collaboration or when you co-create something together with other person? What is helpful to see which mindset they have?
Yeah, thank you for this question, for explaining your point of view and your background. I think, yeah, it's really, really important to get a feeling for these differences and to really try to get the best out of it, because in both ways it can be nourishing or harmful. Because if you're all together with one mindset, it can be very nourishing because you are flowing in one state, but at the same time, it's very easy for you to create those blind spots, right? Mm-hmm. And on the other side, if you're very diverse, it can be very beautiful because you have these different point of views. But first of all, you have to figure out how you can level these differences. And yeah, I think most important, therefore, it's taking time and to be aware of it, because then you can work with it and work with the differences and listen to them. And of course, taking time, it's hard if there are people in it pressing very hard. But I think by creating this awareness, also by the people who are involved in the process, can help that people who want to go very fast also realize it's important to go a little bit slower, to go far. So it's different, go fast or going far. And I think that's very important to find a common level in there.
Yeah.
And another thing with this color or these different mindsets, is for me the duality between, on the one side, it's kind of a ranking, like there is a first level, a second, a third, but it's not really like the one is better than the other. They are all included in each other. But I still think that like a teal one, for him, it's easier to understand the levels which come before and to integrate them than somebody who is like on the red level and is very self-aware or self-focused. It's then probably harder for him to see the other mindsets and to step into their mood and their flow.
Yeah. And what also, in my experience, as you said, it takes time when you have the first time you explain, which mindsets are here, and you have a look on it. Afterwards, it takes for a team or for a group when they co-create something, it speeds up very fast the co-creation, because every person knows these perspectives are in our group, and now we know how we can work together. And that was for me in the past very helpful when we work with other people together. It was easy when you know which perspectives are here and you know why they act in this way. So it's also speed up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I can say in this way. Yeah,
true.
I was wondering if you have any experience to use this like a planning tool. So yet I have heard many times like you can reflect on it, what is, how we are acting. But at the same time, I was wondering if it's possible for setting that a group is setting a goal for a mindset, like we would like to act as much as possible in this mindset. And if anything happens or there are any decisions or any disturbing situations, there we coming back to the different mindsets and reflect where are we right now, and actually are we able to shift our behavior right now to another mindset we would like to be in. What do you think about that? And you were smiling before, so I see already that there are thoughts going on for you. Please share.
It's of course possible develop your mindset to a different color. And the magic is if you want, you really need something why you will do it. And usually it's simple, knowing that for the purpose you're working together is more easily together shift your more, let's say, mindset to the group. So it's usually you do it with other people.
Can you repeat the last one? Because it's
you do it with other people together. When we've experienced it, the group wanted to shift. It's not the individual alone who said, "Yeah, I want to," but it's the group who wanted to shift. Everyone in the group to understanding. If it's a different approach, for example, in the book you can have look specifically on development, on behavior, and how you succeed shifting from level to level. So people see different. From my perspective, I would say it's the group shifting is one leadership.
Yeah.
I think we have a big problem with the microphone right now. So a lot of words were cut up.
So it's still at the moment, or now it's okay?
Now it's better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe you would.
That's not.
No. You can repeat it when you want.
Maybe you would like to repeat it in your words, so we have different point of views on that and different levels of clarity from the microphone.
I would explain in experience from us when we start to grow our business. We also start planning, of course, and when we start to work together, we also have different mindsets comes together how to plan something. And what we do is also that we said, we set goals, and what is inside these goals and what it means when you reach this goal, or this goal is here, and now we are 2 days or 1 week later. Is this important or not? And what we saw in our experience was that sometimes it's important one day or not, on other topics not. So what we see also in our perspective was when we plan, it appears also to which mindset we have on which topic. And what Sandor also explained was when you want to shift your mindset as a group to a new one, you need all people in this group. When you have only one person in this group, let's say I say in a group, I want to shift to teal, please, now. Afterwards, sometimes, one person said, no thanks, no, it isn't my mindset and I don't want to shift. Then you get problems also in the planning and also when you set goals or also when you want to find your purpose together. In this way, it's very important when you plan or doing some work together in co-creation or collaboration in teams, you want to shift together. In another way, it's difficult to shift because in this time, you have every time one person or more than one person said, we can do this shift to here, but not the full.
Put it in other words, you need something to power this shift. Somewhere you need a source of energy which is fueling the group to bring it or motivate to shift to another level. Because it's learning. It's learning how to, for example, be more empathic. If you're just focused on results, it's numbers, you know how to get them. But why should I care if the other one is not performing? And you need to develop a few why is it important that we are more empathic? And usually it works because you're somehow connected, and for us this connection is purpose. We know why we want to go there, and we see as a group it's more easy to go there if we, for example, develop our empathy, because if everybody in the group has let's say a good energy, and good energy comes from he feels good. Then we create much more interesting stuff and much more interesting ideas than if you're just looking on performance. Because performance is, let's say, tackling problems on a very straight level, but it's not getting to another creative idea, which opens up new possibilities. And that's the magic in why a group shifts, at least in what we have experienced so far. Mm-hmm. How about your experience? I'm pretty sure you've tried to shift with groups and probably shifted.
Yes, of course, I have experience in different groups and mindsets. What I was most thinking about or reflecting on during our conversation now were when situations were bursting. Mm-hmm. Like it was a conference where a civil society network met for a second working session, for a second meeting, and a part of the organizational committee asked for having a very open format so that we decide at the beginning how we want to work. Therefore, I was more suggesting preparation. So we saw there that I really tend many times to structure, probably also especially because of my experience in the very open network civil society formats, where often I realized that it's hard to find a common direction. And exactly there we had a big boom then, a big problem with balancing these different energies between those who came for working as much as possible because they took their time off. So they came here, so they expected a lot of output. And there were another kind of people there which wanted to focus on a good process, and what the result, the output wasn't that much important for them. So we found in a way how to more or less satisfy both. Mm-hmm. But for me, it's often a question also. I think there's a difference between being very open and try to satisfy everybody's needs, or being very specifically an invitation to really reach the people you need for something very specific. But therefore, it's also the question, who is the inviter and with what background to what target. Yeah, and I often see this in myself, these two different mindsets of results and quality of process, and I see a lot of civil society groups, self-organized groups who often struggle with this topic. Like we want to have a good process, but at the same time we want to go fast enough to have the feeling that something is progressing. That's something quite difficult. And what I realized also in the past is the use of different words. So there are more and more people who try to speak with words which are reflecting the future level we're going to, like teal language, and try to avoid some words which are reflecting more the old patterns and habits. But for us for the people being in this shift, it's often hard because we're referring, of course, to what we know already. But yeah, it's like egg-chicken problem probably, because words are creating reality and other way around.
Yeah.
This is what's going on in my head.
Yeah, we know that also. For example, we have also sometimes the very goal-orientated things we want, because we also like goals. They are very good to reach something. And what we decided is that we can shift our mindset in this way we want it. So we want an open mindset, and also that we have a holistic view. And what we do already sometimes is that we said, when we want something directly on a point, yes, what is the best way and what is the best thinking to this goal? And so sometimes, yeah, we need a development time, and also it's process orientated, and the result is important, but what is the result exactly? It isn't important. So it's important that we get a good result. So we take the time as it needed. In another way, yeah, we say, yeah, sometimes we know what is the result and we want to go there directly. So yeah, we plan in another way. So we are goal oriented to this point. So we also decided, yeah, we go with this mindset in our work together.
So basically, we play with the different mindsets, and you can easily shift to a mindset you already used. And if you do it in an open way, it's quite easy that others, for example, in this case, just these two, accompany. So basically, if we say, okay, so for example, for this workshop, yes, let's be a bit more open. We had a lot of stuff in the last week to do. And so we needed to prepare for this workshop, and basically we did it. And that's an orange time, right?
Yes.
Okay. So let's create the boards we need. Let's create the sentences we need. But there, from the mindset, we shifted to a very performance-driven way. And we said, okay, so let's create this workshop because we wanted to have a nice workshop. Here is you, Hansi, and we wanted it to have it on a specific time. So yeah. And then we say, okay, hey, preparation is done, great. So what's the next thing we want to do? And usually we shift back to, let's say, we find us often in a kind of greenish mindset. So it's empathy, it's about process orientation, it's about feeling good in the work we do, and that provides us with energy. And yeah, of course, everybody wants to be teal, we do, but sometimes we are, sometimes we are not.
Yeah, and it's also a development, and that's totally okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what I liked very much what you said right now is like being specific and using different mindsets for different phases. I think that's the key because again, a word of awareness. If you know where you're standing right now and what is most helpful and what people are in the room, you can address it very specifically, and you can then involve all the people and reach out for their commitment to go for a specific way for a specific moment. Because I think the biggest problem is if you just act, because then the different mindsets are clashing because everybody thinks that he has the right for the moment. But if you commit as a group together on, okay, for now we're doing it this way, yeah, people can set up themselves or change their mindset. And I think that's very, very helpful. Yeah. It's like a toolbox then, like, or like, I don't know if you know it, you set up different heads, like different organizations and roles. It's like setting up a different classes, different mindset classes. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
A good comparison.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
setting a different view in the world, intentionally. Okay. Hansi, I think it's a good point.
It's a good point. I think so as well. I wrote down one question that I asked it already, and you guided us through the workshop. So is there anything left you would like to share? And I would like to take also my time shortly to think of.
Yes.
Please.
Yeah, because we go very fast through all these mindsets, and sometimes it's very helpful also when I see something new for me. It's very helpful when I can see this again. So what we will give you, Hansi, is all these pictures to you in a PDF. So we can share it to all. They have a look on the live video afterwards or after this live session. So they have again a look on these mindsets and see
Oh
what.
no, the connection. Reloading. Dun-dun-dun.
You hear us now?
This never happened before. Now you're back. Awesome. Cool. That was a premiere for Hangouts during the live session. I haven't had this before. Nice.
So what you heard?
Yeah, you would like to give us the pictures, like the presentation.
Yeah, like the PDF, so you can have a look again on all these mindsets.
Awesome. Thank you very much for sharing your work. I will post a link below then where you as audience can reach it furthermore down the line. Thank you very much for sharing this. That's awesome.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And thank you for having us here.
Yes.
And guys, if you're interested in mindset and if you're interested in co-creation, spend a bit of time about why you're doing it. And whatever way you find, it's a good one. Might be Simon Sinek's way, might be your way, might be some different way. But really, as Hansi said in the very beginning, invest in this space. It helps you on the long run.
Yes.
Find your purpose.
So thank you both, Cornelia and Sandor, for joining today's interview and our first mini workshop. Thank you very much for preparing this workshop for us, for sharing your slides, for taking us on an adventure to get to know different mindsets. In the presentation, you have already written at the beginning the different names you were referring to, so people can take a deeper look. There are different books and works regarding it. And of course, in the links, you will find the presentation and the link to Over the Maze, the project of those two lovely people. And yeah, from my side, thank you for joining in. If you want to find out more and you haven't had the chance yet about Co-Create and the Global Co-Creation Challenge, please follow this link below. Our vision is to unite the world community so we're able to co-create a good life for all. And regarding this collaboration and this vision of a good life, was very happy to speak with you about these topics today. So thank you again, and I wish you all a great day.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Bye.
Ciao.
Work.